I met Daniel on the first day of college, during the awkward chaos of orientation week. Everyone was trying to find their classes, pretending they weren't nervous while secretly hoping someone would talk to them first. I was standing alone near the campus map, squinting at it like it was written in another language, when Daniel walked up beside me. "You look just as lost as I am," he said with a friendly smile. There was something calm about him, confident but not arrogant. He wore a plain black hoodie and carried himself like someone who didn't care about impressing people. Within minutes, we were laughing about how confusing the campus was. That's how our friendship started. Daniel was the kind of person everyone liked immediately. He remembered small details about people. He helped classmates with assignments. If someone dropped their books, he was the first to help pick them up. Professors admired him, and students trusted him. But somehow, I became his closest friend. We started studying together, eating lunch together, even hanging out on weekends. Daniel had a strange ability to listen without interrupting. When I talked about my problems, he paid attention like they truly mattered. "You're one of the few real people here," he once told me. That comment stuck with me. It felt good to be valued like that. Looking back now, I realize how carefully he chose his words. There were small things about Daniel that felt odd, but I ignored them. Sometimes when people told emotional stories, he would stare at them with an expression that didn't quite match the situation. Not cold, just curious. Like he was studying them. One evening we were sitting in a quiet cafe near campus when a couple at the next table began arguing loudly. The girl started crying, clearly heartbroken. I felt uncomfortable and tried to focus on my coffee. Daniel leaned slightly toward them, listening. Then he whispered, almost amused, "People are fascinating when they're in pain." I laughed awkwardly, assuming he was joking. But his expression didn't change. Still, he was always kind to me. When I got sick during midterms, he brought soup to my dorm. When I failed an important exam, he spent hours helping me study. Everyone said I was lucky to have a friend like Daniel. For a long time, I believed them. The first real crack in my trust appeared during our second year. A student named Marcus had been spreading rumors about someone in our class. People were angry, and tensions were rising. One afternoon Marcus suddenly transferred to another college. No explanation. He was just gone. A few days later, Daniel and I were walking across campus when he casually said, "Some people deserve consequences." "What do you mean?" I asked. He shrugged. "Marcus won't bother anyone again." There was something strange about the way he said it, too calm, too satisfied. I brushed the thought away. Months passed, and Daniel's reputation as the good guy only grew stronger. He volunteered at community events. He helped organize charity drives. If someone was being bullied, he stepped in. People admired him. But the odd moments continued. Once, during a late-night conversation, I asked him a random question. "Do you ever feel bad when someone gets hurt?" He tilted his head thoughtfully. "Depends," he said. "Bad people deserve it." "And who decides who's bad?" I asked. He smiled. "Sometimes I do." I assumed he was speaking metaphorically. I wanted to believe that. Everything changed one rainy evening in our final year. I was working late in the campus library when I realized I had forgotten my notebook in Daniel's apartment. We lived off campus by then, sharing a small place with separate rooms. When I arrived, the apartment was dark except for the faint light coming from Daniel's room. I knocked. No answer. The door was slightly open, so I pushed it gently. Daniel wasn't there. But his laptop sat open on the desk. I wasn't planning to snoop. I just wanted to leave quickly. Then I noticed something on the screen. A document. At the top of the page were several names. Names of people from our college. Next to each name were notes, detailed notes. Manipulative behavior. Lies frequently. Bullies weaker students. Cheated during exam. My stomach tightened. Next to some of the names were other words. Handled. Marcus's name was on the list. Beside it, the word resolved. My heart started beating faster. Before I could process what I was seeing, a voice spoke behind me. You weren't supposed to see that. I turned around slowly. Daniel stood in the doorway, his calm expression unchanged. What is this? I asked, my voice shaking. He walked into the room and closed the door gently. It's a list, he said. I can see that. He sat on the edge of the bed, studying my face. You're scared. Of course I am, I said. For a moment he looked almost disappointed. I thought you'd understand. Understand what? That some people need to be stopped. The way he spoke made my skin crawl. He sounded completely rational, like he was explaining homework. You hurt them? I asked quietly. He shrugged. I help situations correct themselves. I felt a wave of fear wash over me. How many people are on that list? Not many, he replied. Most people are harmless. And Marcus? Daniel looked directly into my eyes. Marcus ruined lives with lies. I just made sure he couldn't do it anymore. I didn't ask what that meant. Part of me didn't want to know. Why are you telling me this? I asked. He leaned forward slightly. Because you're my best friend. The words felt heavy in the room. I trust you. My mind raced. Daniel, this isn't normal. He smiled faintly. Normal people ignore cruelty. They walk past suffering every day and pretend it isn't happening. That doesn't make hurting people okay. Sometimes it does, he said calmly. The silence between us stretched painfully. Then he asked something that chilled me. Do you think I'm a bad person? I didn't know how to answer. Because the truth was complicated. Daniel had been incredibly kind to me. He had supported me through some of the hardest moments of my life. But now I realized something terrifying. That kindness had been selective. Carefully calculated. I swallowed. I think you need help. For the first time since I met him, Daniel's smile faded. Help, he repeated. Yes. He stood up slowly and walked to the window, watching the rain fall outside. You know what's funny, he said quietly. What? Out of everyone I've ever met, you're the only one who never made it onto the list. My chest tightened. Why? He looked back at me. Because you're genuinely good. There was a strange sincerity in his voice. I never wanted to hurt you, he added. The way he said it felt less like reassurance and more like a warning. I left the apartment that night with my heart pounding and my thoughts spinning. The next day, I reported everything to the campus authorities. An investigation followed. Daniel disappeared before anyone could question him. No one knows where he went. Sometimes I still think about him. About the friend who brought me soup when I was sick. The friend who helped me study all night. The friend who listened when no one else cared. And the psycho who pretended to be my best friend. Even now, I can't decide which version of Daniel was real. Maybe both were.